award for Best Richard Curtis film ever.
Oh, for God's sake.
Goes to... Right now, Just for Laughs, it's been going on forever in other parts of the world. I can't believe it. I had to pinch myself. Did I really do that? Hosted the one in Montreal once for Channel 4. Right. It's new to London. It's amazing. Tell us all about it.
It has got the most fantastic lineup, but I think the best bit is going to be the bit that I'm doing and that Sue Perkins is doing. I have to say that. So you've seen Comic Relief. It's been chaos all the time. The major scoundrel was Jonathan Ross. So me and Jonathan Ross and Joe Brand are discussing everything that's gone wrong on Comic Relief at 4 p.m. on March the 5th. And then Sue Perkins, a couple of hours later, is having this brilliant discussion with my favourite comedy writer, Jack Rook, and Rosie Jones, my favourite comedian. So I think anybody would be crazy not to say. I mean, Sunday is so boring. You have to go to church. You have to eat food. So why not just drop all that stuff, get a sandwich, come to the O2, buy either a ticket just for us or for the whole damn thing.
Yeah,
I think the weekend of your life. The weekend of your life.
Well, it kicks up on Thursday. I mean, it's brilliant. And it's the fact it's landed fully formed, which is very difficult for a festival to do. Obviously, there's a blueprint, there's a playbook, but it doesn't mean it doesn't need organising. And look at it. I mean, this is fan-flipping-tastic.
Is Ryan Reynolds on?
What's that?
Is Ryan Reynolds
yes,
on
he
at
is.
some point?
Thursday, 2nd of March, Adam Buxton, The Best of Bug,
funny.
Brad Williams, Louisa Amelian, Catherine
she's
Ryan
funny.
and friends.
Oh, she's funny.
This is all over London.
Yeah.
You sort of can't move for it, really. Different venues, O2 Blue Room. There's pubs involved, Indica at the O2, which is your venue as well. Friday, you got Randy Feltface, Feltopia, Fortuna, Spiegelton. Just for Laughs London, 2nd to the 5th of March, 2023. Tickets available now at london.hahaha.com. And then there's Comic Relief. And this is a great it's a red carpet event, if you like. It's the Drawbridge to Comic Relief, 17th of March this year. St. Patrick's Day this year.
Yes.
How chaotic is it now? How glad are you to be here for a rest?
Do you know what? This is the exciting bit because, in a funny way, we're doing quite a few sketches that are hold-alls.
Yes.
So you just have to write to literally everybody you know. Right. So just this morning, I got a text from Ed Sheeran and say, "Yeah, I'm in Australia, but I'll do that."
Right.
And I was on the phone to Jamie Dornan and he said, "Oh yeah, I'll do that." So we're actually trying to squeeze all the people into all the sketches, but we got some fun ones. Tony Robinson's coming out of retirement as Baldrick. To tell a bedtime story, and we're actually flying to South Africa to film Love Island.
Beautiful.
A very funny thing with a man who shouldn't be wearing a Hawaiian shirt doing that. We've got Kylie on that show Ghost. So I think it's going to be very strong, Chris.
Okay.
And we've done some weak ones.
Yeah, well, have you?
Back in the old
Would you
days.
say that?
Well, I just remember with Jonathan Ross, one of the stories we were telling, we said every million we make, his nose is going to grow by an inch. So he was wearing this disgusting, floppy, prosthetic, 7-inch long thing by midnight, which you honestly couldn't
It's funny.
watch.
A floppy prosthetic. The kids love it.
Yeah,
Looks like many things. It's cheeky, man.
Definitely watch the show. And can I just say, people have to buy this new red nose. Do you know about it?
Well, I saw Rachel having fun with it over there in the corner.
I know. It's designed by the greatest designer in the world, by Johnny Ive, who designed the iPhone.
Oh, my goodness.
He said, I really want to do this. I want to do something for the good of mankind. It looks like the most beautiful Christmas decoration. Go on Amazon, just write Amazon.
Check it out.
Yeah, and they're £2.50,
It's stunning,
which
isn't it?
is also fun, yeah.
How many different
with
incarnations of noses have you had?
God alive. I would think about 16, Chris.
Because it was always exciting.
We had one in the shape of a tomato. Do you remember that?
I do remember that. Big hit.
Yeah.
And when did the first ever car red nose happen? Was that?
Car red nose probably about 1990.
These smell nice, don't they? They smell nice. Are they like swatches? Do some now go for fortunes on eBay?
I think they will. Eventually, I think that if you order them now, it's an investment.
How many red noses have you sold, do you think? You got any good fun stats for us?
God, no.
Some fun pub ammo.
I think we've helped 12 million people, something like that, over the years.
Wow.
And some of those, half in the UK, half abroad. I think we've sold about 70 million noses over the course of the years.
So cool, isn't it?
And I remember when you were on, you raised one small laugh.
What's that? Yeah, that was it, wasn't it?
During the course of the evening.
I did. No, the Snottery was my first ever visitation. when I did this thing all night.
Yeah.
Every hour we did this thing called the snottery, which was red noses that were in a big vat of snot, so they were
Yes.
green noses.
Yeah.
And they all had numbers on. It was the snottery, the national snottery.
Times have changed. We're
what we
very
called it.
sophisticated now.
Seriously.
Every single year, Chris,
Yes.
somebody after like months in an
Uh-huh.
advertising agency, someone comes forward and says, I've got the title for this event.
Come on.
Pick your nose.
Pick your
and
nose.
every year I say, please. Don't do that for me.
Get another
Yeah.
career. If you had to put up 3 iconic comic relief moments, can I proffer one
Yeah.
to kick off? Would the Hugh Grant Dawn French kiss be in there? Do you
That was a good live one. I remember
great.
another, yeah, I loved that. And then there was a live one, do you remember, where Billy Connolly had said, if I get £1 million, I'm going to run naked around
Yep.
Piccadilly Circus.
Yep.
And then we got 100 naked men wearing Billy Connolly beards to run into the studio without the hosts knowing. That was good.
Come on.
Sasha and the Beckhams,
Yeah.
I think that was pretty
That was
strong. It
legendary,
was so
wasn't
interesting
it?
that he refused to meet them before interviewing them, so they would be scared of him, and rightly so.
Very method.
I think that was true. I mean, for me, the very early films with Lenny, the very early appeals,
Yeah.
where he went out there instead of being like a news reporter, he treated the people he met just like he would treat anyone in the streets of Birmingham. So it kind of gave people a sense of, the human faces behind what we see as, as terrible tragedies, and sometimes forget these are kids as valuable as, your kids or mine. James Corden and George Michael.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Awesome.
Where he invented carpool karaoke, and George said, "Why do you never ask me on Comic Relief?" And James said, "Comic Relief helps people like you, George, rather than uses people like you." No, we've had 1 million.
People don't know that. Many people don't know that. So James's most successful thing to date, whatever that means, if that matters at all, but it's a thing, it's true, is carpool karaoke. It's what he became famous for. It's why his show Late Night went viral. Why the likes of Michelle Obama and Madonna graced his passenger seat's presence was because he came up with that for Comic Relief.
Yeah, for
wasn't
Comic
it?
Relief.
It was
That's
awesome.
good.
Do you remember that moment? Do you remember that when somebody said carpool karaoke?
Oddly enough, what I remember is sitting with George in the dressing room waiting to do it.
Right.
And him turning out that, actually, I don't know whether you knew, he was the greatest expert on British comedy that I've ever met.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. So he just was obsessively going on about
What kind of
every
stuff
new
did he
show
like?
and
What
everything
was his
like
favourite
that.
stuff?
I can't remember. I was probably at that stage, it was probably the Mighty Boosh and the In-Betweeners
Right.
and whatever were the kind of top things then, and then, Dad's Army.
Wow.
But no, there have been a lot of great moments, both profound. I remember Victoria Wood committing to spending 24 hours in the bedroom of a woman who had dementia, and just watching the astonishing love of her husband, taking every minute of every day, taking care of him. Then I remember Gary Barlow and various fools climbing Kilimanjaro and thinking it was going to be fun, and
Yeah.
they nearly die.
The thing about the Victoria Wood 24 hours is that's one of those ideas that just stays with everyone. And, they're out there, aren't they? These ideas are out there for all of us, whether we're raising money for the local school fete or whatever, and we can all access these brilliant ideas that just stop people in their tracks and just change things for the better.
Yeah, I know. And, this is my obsession still with Red Nose Day, because we've raised, I think it's something like 1.6 billion now. But I can't get over the fact that if you buy a nose, a vaccine costs 17p.
Yeah.
And it's so hard if you've got, we both know, if you've got someone in your life whose life is very hard, or when my parents were dying and stuff, you think no amount of money can help. But actually, for other people, for strangers, if you give 10 quid today, buys 100 quid worth of food, for someone in Somalia who's starving, or here who's trying to choose between, as it were, medicine and food. So there's a little miracle all the time about what little bits of money
Yeah,
can do.
and it's the difference between a good day and a bad day. And it also may be the first good day they've had in ages. And that can just change their mindset. Just for Laughs, coming back to London for the first time, london.hahaha.com is where you need to go. This Just for Laughs, did it start in Montreal?
That's my memory. That's
It's mine
my
as well.
memory
I think
of
it's
it.
everywhere
Exactly.
now as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's coming here, which is great. And so some of that money's going to Comic Relief?
Yeah, that's right. We kind of made an arrangement. We're doing 2 lovely shows to get money from those shows.
Yeah, you can
and
be
then
PR and
we're getting a little pot.
spread the love.
Spread the love.
That's all good,
exactly.
isn't it? Right, should we talk about the car?
Oh lordy. Oh lordy.
So, I don't know. Oh, I do know how. So, our mutual friend Matthew said one day, do you have a car to give to Richard? Because it might be fun. And things go quiet around 10 o'clock on BBC Two. And this was a few years ago.
Yeah.
I said,
so
well,
not give to Richard, give to Richard to give to Comic Relief.
and also not Kristen necessarily.
Yeah,
But the
yeah.
point is, how about this?
Yeah.
Right? And so I said, oh, I don't know whether I do, but I might. And let me think about it. And then we did.
Yeah.
That's what happened. And then Carfest took responsibility for it going forward, and then we used some money that we're given for Carfest to buy cars for you and for children in need. And it's gone really well, hasn't it, Rich? It's gone really well so far.
I mean, it's just, when you're talking about new ways of raising money.
Yeah, it's simple,
The
isn't it?
idea of a sort of lottery ticket for an unbelievably precious thing
Yeah.
got to be the world's biggest win-win, because the money that you're paying for the ticket goes to Comic Relief.
Tenner.
And you might
You
win
might win a car.
the most fabulous thing.
Yeah, and the thing is, that money that we buy the car with is already, it's donations basically via one form or another, ticket sales, straight donations like the guys today, things like that. And so that is money, that is free money already, technically, for the various charities. In this case, your charity, we do other charities as well, as you know. But Comic Relief and Children in Need have this ability to then sort of inflate that initial donation. And only you two can, you two, because of the BBC and because of where it is. So you get 20 grand for a car, 50 grand for a car or whatever, which is what we pay. And then you turn it into, the Jag went for over £1 million, didn't it, that car? Which is just the most fun. So,
Oh, lordy, praise him.
what is your recollection of the story of finding out about this car? And then you sent me the most excited email you've ever sent me. And there's been a few exciting exchanges between us over
I
this.
know.
But you went, what? Really? Is this true?
Was there some swearing? There probably
There
was some
I've got
swearing.
it. I still got it. I still got the email.
It's a very, very, very beautiful car.
Anyway.
Anyway,
Yeah.
and I thought everyone's going to want this car. And can you imagine doing this thing? You think, I've given a donation to Comic Relief, and then this extraordinary thing drives up to your front door a bit later, and you've got the best car in the world. And then it turned out that this car had a previous owner.
One careful previous
One
lady owner.
very careful previous owner. Are you going to say who that previous owner was?
No,
or am
you
I?
go. You take. You
Okay,
take.
the previous owner, on a lot of public occasions, tended to wear a crown
Yeah.
and was fond of corgis. Do you think that's enough
Yeah.
clues? And the corgis travelled in the car. There are lots of photographs of her in the car.
Yeah.
So this is actually not only a beautiful car, but is an astonishing piece of history, driven by the favourite car of the greatest monarch in the history of our land. I mean, I literally can't imagine. I would pay 10 times, as it were, retail price in order to own the car. And someone will be driving that round Acacia Avenue on March the 18th.
The Jaguar X-Type is a front-engine, all-wheel, front-wheel drive compact exec car manufactured and marketed from 2001 to 2009. The fantastic piece of royal history is presented in emerald fire with barley leather interior, and the first owner, and that's, by the way, how she spec'd all her cars, was Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II.
Come on!
And it's not the car she was driven on, it was the car that she drove.
Exactly.
And this-
So no bumps in the fender on this one.
Comes with a sunroof, automatic transmission, electric windows, climate control, a good service history, best service history ever. Jaguar Heritage Trust certificate, and has been well maintained. And there she is. There's the Queen in the car.
Well, I think it's the greatest prize ever. I'm so unbelievably grateful to you for organising it, and to the Queen for driving with such care and eating so few tuna fish sandwiches in it, so it smells and is fragrant and beautiful.
Yeah. Before you go, actually, we're nearly out of time. We all want to know what Richard Curtis's favourite Richard Curtis movie is, and then we'd like to give an award for that movie to whoever is involved with it. So we made it easy for you, though, Richard Curtis. So here we go. So we've got a little knockout competition, okay, for you.
Wow.
So here we go. First of all, the Tall Guy 1989 versus Bean 1997.
Do you know, I'm going to give it to the tall guy because it was my first.
Tall Guy, okay. So Tall Guy's still in. Warhorse 2011 versus Bridget Jones Edge of Reason. Yeah.
I'm going to give it to Bridget because it's funnier.
Okay. All right.
Not many gags in Warhorse.
All right. In that case, let's go straight to. Let's keep her in.
Right.
Bridget Jones Edge of Reason versus Bridget Jones Diary.
I think the diary was
The Diary.
probably a bit better than
How
No
is that? How
Scenes
is that right in the
Tyson.
sequel? Is the sequel ever? Does it ever stand a chance?
Yeah, because the budget's bigger and you can put in more great pop songs to cover up the flaws.
And they do more publicity
Yeah,
for it and all this
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
stuff. Okay, so Bridget Jones' Diary now in, Tall Guy still in. Mr. Bean's Holiday versus Mamma Mia. Here we go again.
Oh, I love doing Mamma Mia.
Okay.
For heaven's sakes, the tunes.
All right, so Mamma Mia.
Yeah.
Okay. Mamma Mia's in there. Yesterday versus The Boat That Rocked.
Oh, this
Not
is
dissimilar.
tough.
Not dissimilar.
I love those. I'm going to say Yesterday because I'm scared of Danny Boyle. And
Love Actually, it's getting big now. It's getting big. Here come the big guns. Love Actually versus Notting Hill.
yeah, I'm more scared of Julia. Say Notting Hill.
Notting
I don't
Hill.
know what she'd say. if I said-
Okay. So, Four Weddings still there,
Yeah.
yet to compete. So let's go Mamma Mia, here we go again, versus Yesterday now.
I'm going to say Yesterday there because
Okay.
the Beatles were just one step above ABBA in terms of musical greatness.
All right, and then we're going to go The Tall Guy still in,
Yeah,
your first film.
I mean,
versus,
lucky to be there.
Versus Notting Hill.
Notting Hill's definitely.
Notting Hill
better
still.
than
Oh, well, it
Tall Guy.
came. See, I seeded like Wimbledon. I seeded 1 and 2, and 1 and 2
Yeah.
made it to the final. It's the second Sunday, everyone.
Okay.
The strawberries have run out. The fresh cream's not fresh anymore. And here we go. Are we ready, everyone? Notting Hill versus Four Weddings and a Funeral.
Oh, just because it's got more swearing. in it.
Yes, Richard
I'm going to
Curtis.
say Four Weddings.
Four Weddings and a Funeral, ladies and gentlemen. The award for Best Richard
Oh,
Curtis
no.
film ever
Oh, for God's sake!
goes to Four Weddings and a Funeral and Richard Curtis.
I don't get to keep it, do I?
Yes, please, can you take it out of the building because we don't know what to do with it, frankly.
I'm travelling on the tube.
And no fly tipping. It's not allowed.
Oh,
Thank you,
no.
Richard.
Look, that
It's
is
official.
so
The
fantastic.
greatest Richard Curtis film of all time is indeed Four Weddings and a Funeral. Oh,
God,
I love
should
you.
get
I
married.
love you.
Chris, you've done so brilliantly.
You're the
Car,
best.
nose, just for laughs, and
Flowers.
What the hell am I going to do with these?
Just before you go, one question I've always wanted to ask you about Four Weddings and a Funeral,
Yeah.
because I tell this story, and I don't know if it's true. You know when you get a
I do
story.
that. That's like the story of my life.
What is that like? So Four Weddings and a Funeral cost about £2 million to make.
Yeah, we lost a lot of money just before it started.
Okay. But then it caught fire so much
Yes.
that they PR'd it, and the ad budget for it was over 19 million quid or something like that.
I don't know about 19, but it would have been more. That's absolutely right.
So loads more than the film cost to make.
Loads more than the
They
film
spent all this
cost.
money, in it, and
Yeah.
in the end, they were gangbusters.
Yeah, I remember the director saying once it was finished and we first watched it, he said, I think it's a pig in a poke. I mean, our confidence level was zero.
Why?
I don't know. I think it was because just Hugh's hair was so bad.
Floppy, so faux.
Yeah, Hugh's hair was so floppy. That was it. And also there was that awful bit in the middle when the guy died and it just ruined the film, just dragged the whole spirit down.
So how come it was a hit then?
Don't know.
What about-
and he was so pretty.
When did you come up with the title Four Weddings and a Funeral?
Right at the beginning, actually. And as always happens with movie companies, they said this is a dreadful title because only women like weddings and no one likes funerals. So they really pushed me to call it Rolling in the Aisles. I had
And
to
they've
fight.
never been seen
I
or
had to
heard of
fight.
since.
I know. No, it was a lucky
Rolling
moment.
in the aisles?
Yeah, you
Roll
wouldn't be here today talking about rolling in the aisles.
You wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be here. Oh, my goodness. Great to see you. Happy Thursday.
Lovely to see you. 'Cause I can't wait for the car to make £1 million.
All right. Cheers, man. Bye-bye, everyone. Round of applause.